I'm Cameron Vuno, and here's my family tree. Although I am from the Jersey Shore, my family has a lot of ties to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and specifically Bethlehem Steel. The first person in my family to ever associate themselves with Bethlehem Steel is my great-great-grandfather Charles R. Ellicott I. A Lafayette graduate turned executive, he paved the way for my family's well-doing in business, and also just created a better life for my family in general. Aside from being a great businessman, my great-great-grandfather also patented low-carbon chromium steel. The benefits that are associated with the low-carbon chromium steel rather than the average steel that they used back in that time period is that it's a lot cheaper to produce and a lot easier to make. So safe to say, he cut down costs a lot at Bethlehem Steel. In the time period that my great-great-grandfather worked for Bethlehem Steel, they were becoming an economic giant and producing many things for many different people. The first notable landmark constructed by Bethlehem Steel in this time was the George Washington Bridge, which connects New York and New Jersey over the Hudson River. However, one of the most notable landmarks that Bethlehem Steel made in this time period was the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, California. Another notable landmark that Bethlehem Steel accounted for the construction of but did not construct entirely on its own is the Empire State Building in New York City. The last notable landmark that my great-great-grandfather oversaw at Bethlehem Steel was the Hoover Dam on the border of Nevada and Arizona. Although my great-great-grandfather is a smart man, he was not a very well-liked man at Bethlehem Steel. The workers were making next to nothing for work that could kill them, whereas my great-great-grandfather just sat in his corner office all day. After the times of Charles R. Ellicott I came Charles R. Ellicott II. During his time as an executive at Bethlehem Steel, they had to make uranium fuel rods for the government. This resulted in many workers becoming sick. However, since the exposure of uranium they were exposed to does not cause cancer and only other diseases, the workers were not compensated. Although, everything, good and bad, must come to an end at some point or time. After my great-grandfather's retirement and eventual death, Bethlehem Steel had fallen into shambles. The international steel companies were wiping American steel companies off the map, and the same fate had happened to Bethlehem Steel. In 2001, Bethlehem Steel filed for bankruptcy. In 2003, Bethlehem Steel was no longer a company, shutting down all operations and dissolving the whole company and all of its assets.